Bienvenido a Vaughan 4.0. Nivel avanzado.
Okay, welcome back. Welcome to a new class number 34. I always need to look because we're going so fast that sometimes I forget what class we're on. Class number 34. And we have a lot of work today with class number 4. So sit down, get ready, be still, get out a pencil and paper if necessary. Get out means saca. Get out a piece of paper. Take out, si es de un sitio algo muy específico. Take the pencil out of your pocket. Pero saca un lápiz. Get out a pencil, get out a piece of paper, sit down, pay attention, watch, keep your eyes open, keep your ears open, and listen carefully. And we will go over things from the last class and then straight into years and into used to. So a new expression for some of you, maybe. Okay, camera number 1. All right, are you ready? Let's go back to Canada and Spain. Canada and Spain. People. Well, there aren't as many people in Canada as in Spain. Canada and Spain. Wine. There isn't as much wine in Canada as in Spain. Canada and Spain. Windmills. Well, there aren't as many windmills. Well, excuse me. Old windmills, Don Quixote type windmills, or wind farms, parques eólicos. Modern windmills. Well, I think there aren't as many windmills in Canada as in Spain. I think Spain has more. Canada and Spain, provinces. There aren't as many provinces in Canada as in Spain. Even though Canada is a lot bigger than Spain, Canada is 7 or 8 times bigger than Spain. But even though Canada is bigger than Spain, there aren't as many provinces in Canada as in Spain. In fact, there are only about 10 or 11 provinces in Canada, and in Spain there are 50, which means if Canada is 7 or 8 times bigger than Spain and has only 10 or 11 provinces, then the provinces in Canada are very big indeed. In fact, some of the provinces in Canada are bigger than the country of Spain. Canada and Spain, snow. Well, there isn't as much. There isn't as much snow in Spain as in Canada. Snowstorms, ventiscas, tormentas de nieve, snowstorms. There aren't as many snowstorms in Spain as in Canada. Okay? Dust, polvo. Yeah, dust. Dust in the wind. We're only dust in the wind. Okay. Well, there isn't as much dust in Canada as in Spain. There isn't as much dust in Canada as in Spain. Okay? Beaches. Playas. Yeah, beaches. Well, there aren't as many beaches in Canada as in Spain. There aren't as many beaches in Canada as in Spain. Lakes. There aren't as many lakes in Spain as in Canada. Water. There isn't as much water. There isn't as much water in Spain as in Canada. And there aren't as many lakes. There isn't as much water. Contable, incontable. All right. People. There aren't as many people in Canada as in Spain. Universities. There aren't as many universities, I think, in Spain as in Canada. There are a lot of universities in Canada. Highways. Carreteras. Yeah. Well, there aren't as many highways in Canada as in Spain because most of Canada doesn't have any highways or roads, only near the United States. Okay, Canada and Spain, televisions. Televisores, yeah. Well, there aren't as many televisions in Canada as in Spain because there are fewer people. And English teachers, there aren't as many English teachers in Canada as in Spain because Canada doesn't need English teachers of the type I am. Canada and Spain, horses. Ooh, that's tough. But I think there are fewer horses in Canada than in Spain because of the climate. So there aren't as many There aren't as many horses in Canada as in Spain. French speakers, francófonos, habladores de francés. Okay. All right. There aren't as many French speakers in Spain as in Canada, because Canada has Quebec, where the majority of the people speak French. So there are fewer French speakers in Spain than in Canada. There aren't as many French speakers in Spain as in Canada. And Canada and Spain, big cities. Ooh, that's difficult. Toronto's a big city, about the same size as Madrid. Montreal is a big city, almost the same size as Madrid. Vancouver is a big city. Not as big as Madrid, but bigger than Valencia or Seville, Vancouver. Ottawa, the capital, is a big city. But I think Ottawa is about the same size as Bilbao. Okay. So I think there are fewer big cities in Spain than in Canada. That's difficult. Madrid, Barcelona, Valencia, and Seville. Those are the 4 cities that are over 1 million. Now, I think in Canada there are only 3 cities over 1 million. Montreal, Toronto, and Vancouver, I think. So really, it's the opposite. There aren't as many big cities. There aren't.
¿Te está gustando este episodio? Hazte fan en iVoox para acceder a este y al resto de sus episodios extra desde otras aplicaciones de escucha.